Welcome back to another episode of the Cinestro Core. It's your boy Blacksby, aka Fade Rauta, and we're here with Spice Messiah, Luisan Al Gaib, and she Benny on my Jesseret until I jet. And if you can't tell by these creative names, we're talking about the one, the only, the undisputed movie of the year, Dune Part 2. Big ups to the man Dennis Villeneuve. I butchered his last name. Big ups to the man Dennis. We're just so excited to discuss this movie. Probably our most hyped movie that we were talking about this season up until maybe the summer. And even that, I don't even, let's not even get into that. Let's just get right into Dune Part 2.
AZ's lucky he's
Where do
not
we
on this
start,
episode
guys?
because I was about to cook his ass.
He said, starting off with
Yeah,
a call out. He said, AZ is a coward.
AZ's a coward. He should have
He's a
shown
coward.
up today. He should have faced us, said that shit to my motherfucking face.
He
did not drink the water of life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
AZ
he's not
didn't like
drinking
the
that
film,
worm
guys.
piss. AZ didn't even
AZ,
watch
I thought
the
it was
first one.
Stomach
AZ,
acid.
Look.
AZ is not initiated. He's not one who knows. Whatever
Let me
the
just
opposite
say-
of
let me just say,
Muad'Dib is, whatever
a
the
grown
opposite of
man-
Lisan Al
A
Gaib,
grown
that's
man
what
who
AZ
likes
is.
cartoons didn't like an actual movie doesn't surprise me. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm a grown man that likes animated stuff.
Grams
But-
of
Don't say animated stuff. Say cartoons.
Cartoon.
There
You
we
gotta
go.
respect it. Respect
Exactly.
it. But
Respect it.
someone has to give credit to where credit is due, and I
Yeah.
would be willing to say this is one of, if not the best movie of the last 5 years.
It's
Personally.
yeah. We're just gonna go start. We're gonna start glazing off the bat.
I've been glazing.
Bro,
I haven't stopped.
if we talking glazing, call me Shipley's Donuts when I'm about to glaze this movie.
Krispy Kreme.
Ain't no way. I am the number one Dune proprietor, number one Dune propagandist, number one Dune agenda pusher. This movie is too good, and I don't know why people were talking about the first one was boring, so I'm not watching the second one. Open your fucking mind. Get your ass off the couch, get off Twitter, and expand your fucking horizons. Excuse my
put
language.
Subway Surfers in front of the goddamn screen and watch that movie. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I like the part one,
With
part two
subtitles.
aspect. I know when they first announced it, people were like, "Oh, part one, part two, that's so lazy, that's so dumb. Just give us one movie." No, it worked out perfectly because it gave
The way
Denis,
it picked off immediately was
it gave Denis the perfect opportunity to tell the story to set up the story he wanted to tell in part two by making part one.
It needed to be part one. It's a 20-hour fucking book, man.
Yeah.
With I guess technically the first book is 3 parts. I think something I couldn't even tell you. I'm about to start reading the books. This is one of the franchises that I know almost nothing about, and I think that's why I love these movies so much, because all this stuff is like a shock, and the way he handles these like plots and twists.
New lore.
That's really funny considering that you're like a big Star Wars head and Dune.
Dude,
obviously inspired a lot of what George Lucas did with Star. It's not his sole inspiration. I'm not going that far, but it is very I think prevalent.
Oh, your main protagonist is born on or not born, but living on a desert planet, and there's this thing called spice. I mean, it's pretty derivative.
That's pretty on the nose.
Yeah. Which is crazy because I had never really heard of Dune up until part one, and part one just kind of blew up. And I think I really, really enjoyed the first part, but I think this second part was somehow took it up another notch that I didn't think was possible.
I had heard of the Dune books and Frank Herbert, but I had never read them, and so I never really got into it. And it wasn't until they were like, "Oh, Denis Villeneuve is making an adaptation of the Dune books." I was like, "Denis Villeneuve is making a movie. I'm there. Whatever it is, I'm watching it because that guy does not miss." And then part one came out, and I was like,
"What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this?" I was like, "This is sick." I was like, "This is amazing." I was like, and I was like, I'm locked in. And then part two is literally one of the best movies of, like you said, I don't want to say one of the best movies ever made because people are gonna fucking jump down.
I don't care. It's subjective. I think it absolutely is.
I was telling Luis, I was like, this must be what it was like to watch Lord of the Rings in the theaters when it first came out. I was like, this is our
even
generation.
Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't that what they're saying? Every 20 years, there's like or every 25 years, there's like a massive culture-defining franchise, right? First it was Star Wars, then Lord of the Rings came in the early 2000s,
and then
then Harry Potter,
and then the Percy Jackson movies.
No, and then
we don't speak of.
We're not talking about that.
I think one cool thing I just learned. I was watching the Heavy Spoilers guy. Was that? Is it Dennis or Denis?
Denis.
Okay, that's what I thought. So
Dennis, me and my boy Dennis.
Dennis Villanueva.
Whitest way possible. Dennis Villanueva. Apparently he was doing like storyboards for this movie. This is apparently was like his dream movie in the 80s, and I couldn't tell you how old this guy is, but I mean, I would assume he's like 50s or whatever. So there's no telling how young he is.
He's on that spice.
He was. You have to be on that spice when you're.
Yeah, he said he and his best friend, when they were in middle school or in high school, were making storyboards of this, and they're like, "This what made us want to be filmmakers. Like, we want to make this movie," and they were storyboarding the movie even back then.
Yeah,
and I think the dream.
It's unbelievable. So, the more I learned about Dune, the more I learned that this was apparently what people would say was like the most unadaptable story for a movie, like book. Like it was just, that's why the 84 film was apparently like, now it's a cult classic, but I don't think it did very good back then.
No.
And then they tried to do a series in the 90s.
The sci-fi, right? The sci-fi series?
That was like Children of Dune. And then there was another series in like the early 2000s that, and like those two just never really took off. And what's crazy is I think Patrick Stewart's in the first Dune movie, and then James McAvoy is in the Dune, like Children of Dune.
You see?
And I was like, oh, it's like the two Professor X's are in the same franchise.
You've read the book, unadaptable book, happens all the time, and you have filmmakers try to adapt books that are incredibly hard to adapt. Did Denis do a pretty good job? I know there's some aspects of it that you were like, oh, I'm so mad we didn't get to see them, like the fucking
guild
navigators and stuff. But for the most part, did he do a pretty good job?
Yeah, I think people are being a little hyperbolic when they say Dune is unadaptable, and I think they're referring more to the later entries.
Okay.
Yeah,
because it depends on how weird you get, because it just gets
it goes balls to the wall.
Off the wall, unhinged. In terms of like 1 and Dune Messiah, like the first 2 books, I think they're pretty tame.
Okay.
Yeah.
But once you get once that's done, it gets a little.
So I guess we can say this is pretty much like spoiler talk. Because I was talking to a couple buddies up at the bar
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah.
So
spoilers for a book that came out in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. That inspired like probably the biggest franchise ever, Star Wars. So I mean, I think we can say some spoiler talk.
Right.
One of the guys up at the bars, he was like a big fanatic, read all the books, watched like every iteration. He told me that the one thing I think that was different in this movie, that's like probably the most severe change from the book to the movie, is that Paul's sister, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul's sister actually ends up killing the Emperor and like just a bunch of other random stuff, and was just saying like
Aaliyah is a lot older in the books at the time that the Emperor is killed. Like Paul is basically just like a rebel fighter for years and years.
Well, he didn't die, right?
It's Jesus.
Who, the Emperor? Not the Emperor. I think he means the Baron, no?
Harkonnen.
Yeah,
the Baron. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Vladimir.
That boy Vlad.
Big Vlad.
Big Vlad.
I think
that boy big.
I'm honestly incredibly just shocked about because you guys know I'm like a fucking nerd, just about like the filmmaking aspects of like this film, like what Denis was able to do, like the fact me and Gerardo went to go watch it together, and the scene where Paul is riding the sandworm for the first time. I was like, I'd seen tweets and I'd read like articles about it, and I was like, come on, like he's riding a fucking sandworm. How's it gonna be? And while he was watching it, I literally turned to Gerardo and I was like, dude, I have goosebumps. I was like, bro, I have goosebumps. It's so fucking crazy.
I
Like,
think what's
so
crazier,
good.
the preparation to him riding the worm actually got me going more.
Got you hype?
Like watching him go up to the dune, dune or whatever, and like knock him into the ground and setting up the thumper, and then like him running to jump onto it. Like obviously riding it was fucking amazing, but seeing them, the Fremen, like watch him do all this.
Denise said that was the one scene he had always wanted to direct in his entire life. That's the one scene he's always wanted.
Now he needs to direct them hopping off that bitch, because how does that happen?
Oh yeah,
that's
never
explained. Whole movie.
Well, in the book, it's supposedly until they get tired, right? Until the sandworms get tired, and then they hop off. And
what if they give that bitch some spice and that should just keep running, bro? What happens? You just ride until you keep going to the other side of Arrakis? Like, what do you do?
Well, hell, when they pull
it is what it is.
They pull those ropes up, you can see they almost have like little exhausts like in between their skin.
Blowholes.
Their vents.
Maybe it's like cocaine. Maybe just sprinkle it in there. It gives them a boost.
How do you guys
need that?
I think also something that obviously we know how a phenomenal director Denis is. He has not made not one bad movie. Every movie he's ever made has been from great to amazing. So, but something that really shocked me is everybody's performances in this movie. I was a notorious Timothée Chalamet hater. I thought he was overrated.
Me too.
I thought he was just a cute, mediocre white boy, and everybody was hyping him up. And it's true, bro.
Was a knower.
In this, there's a scene in this movie where he has to basically he gets all the Fremen on his side, and he convinces them to follow his cause. And
when they're in the cave,
bro. If there's a scene that needs to be like, if that's the Oscar nom scene, it's that one, because the gravitas this young man carried in that scene, the power he exuded, speaking to them in the Fremen in Chokobska, or however you say it. I'm not a you know. I don't know.
You're not fluent in that Fremen.
I don't speak Dunese, you know. Barely speak English as it is. So he was in the cave talking in Chokobska, and like I was had chills, bro.
Yeah, that scene gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, like unbelievable.
I was like, oh my god, Timothée Chalamet. And mind you, the last movie that Timothée Chalamet was in was
Wonka.
Wonka.
It was Wonka.
So from Wonka to this, massive like jump, bro.
Well, I think another good
the duality of man.
I think was when him and his mom were talking, and like snaps and is like, "That's not hope," and like that little sequence right there. Like, he just has these little like 3-minute moments in this movie that just he is excelled, and it has grown from just part 1 to part 2.
He is locked in, dude. I don't know.
He's absolutely
locked in.
It's
this weird thing where you just catch all the adrenochrome he's consuming, bro.
That's crazy.
It's fucking. It's like you just catch these actors at these moments, man. Where I don't know. I don't know if it's a mixture of the director and the script and the artist, or it's an amalgamation of all these things.
His story and books too. Like I saw, have you seen the picture of him on the train?
Yeah, reading the Dune books.
Reading Dune.
Yeah, dude, he blew my mind, bro. He was fucking amazing. And
Zendaya too.
I was gonna say, and not just him. There's not one weak performance in this entire film. Everybody is carrying their fucking weight. Zendaya is amazing. Javier Bardem is amazing.
It wasn't Timothée Chalamet wasn't on most of the screens that Stilgar was on. Stilgar would have stole the movie for me. But then you've got fucking Paul right there.
Hold up. You sleep. Now you trying to sleep on my boy?
Don't forget.
You trying to sleep on my boy? My boy.
The real goat.
How can you act
with the bald head aggression in this movie?
What'd you say? How can you what, Graham?
How can you act
without eyebrows?
He did it,
bro.
He emotes.
He was doing everything.
See, when Paul yelled silence to the Reverend Mother,
yes,
and fucking Phage is like,
bro got wet.
They should never have put
He
that in
said,
the
"Someone
trailer.
teach me
They should
that."
have left that out of the trailer.
Oh, I agree.
Because I was expecting it, but like if you had not seen the trailer and watched that scene, it would have been like, oh
Austin
shit,
Butler,
okay. Yes.
Austin Butler, I did think something very important. I mean, I knew he was a good actor. I saw Elvis, and although the movie's not great, I was like Elvis. I mean, Austin really killed that role.
Jacob was better.
But what Jacob was better. But what this movie did, it was cement Austin Butler kind of as like he's him, bro. Like he showed with this film alone, he showed that he's got the range to do literally. He like be
anything.
Hollywood's next leading man, dude. He can do everything.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, he can do Elvis. He can give you Elvis. He can do Masters of the Air. He can do the Bike Riders, and he can do Fade Ralpha and Dune.
Oh,
like,
we don't know about Bike Riders yet.
Soon.
You know how I feel about that
bro.
movie.
Come on,
propaganda.
bro.
Number
He's
one
gonna-
bike rider.
Yeah, it's
propaganda
like
right
The
here.
last good thing Tom Hardy bitch ass was in.
Venom.
Yeah, fuck you.
Oh,
no, my bad.
Fuck that is.
Inception. No, what's that shit?
Bronson.
Where he's the twins.
Bronson.
Oh, the twins. Fuck, I forgot.
Bronson is his best thing.
Not
that he's
legend.
I
Not
agree.
legend.
No, it's
It is Legend, isn't it?
It is legend. Is
I
he
think
legend
so.
or?
I
he's in
thought Legend
Lawless,
was the
too.
two brothers fighting. Man, all I know is fuck that guy.
We're talking about Butler.
I like him,
But
but he
but
fell
yeah.
off.
Butler told me I wasn't familiar with this game, and I mean, like probably as soon as he gets on screen and like the part where he's about to like lick the knife, that's when I was like, bro's he's got it.
The juice,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought
Gerardo,
the opposite.
Gerardo
I thought
looked
the
at me.
opposite.
You know you could.
No, I liked it, but when he licked the knife, I was like, I don't know. But and then I saw him a little more. I was like, okay, no.
Oh yeah, because there's
got
one
it.
point
He
in the
was
movie
on
where
freak time.
Gerardo turned to me and he was like, "Damn, he's got the juice."
He's literally the worst.
Literally, he's got the juice.
Fade
the whole
Rista.
cinematography, the shots on that planet.
Did he get? I think
his name.
that woman assaulted him. I don't know about Riz, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, Liz Sadu or Sadu, whatever.
She was gonna put the Gom Jabbar in him if he didn't put his Gom Jabbar in her.
his what? Ganja bar.
He gone Jabbar the hitter,
The
bro.
little needle, the poison needle.
No, you're right,
Bro was
Graham.
not seen.
The scenes
He
on
Jabbarred the
Gady,
kid into her.
what's it? Gady Prime, whatever.
Guiding Prime. I think
Yeah,
it's
Guiding
Guiding
Prime.
Prime. Yeah.
Guidey.
Oh, that
Looks
that
bomb as shit.
that leads
It
into
was crazy.
what a phenomenal cinematographer Greg Fraser.
Oh my
is, who
God.
We're not gonna let him not get his flowers, bro. Because
Yeah.
that man,
Stunning. I mean, there were some shots. I went with my girl and my buddy, and like there were some shots. There were every shot of fucking Paul walking over Dune.
He said the
with,
thing.
like,
Dude.
stuff
He said
in
the
the
thing.
background. Dude, I'm like, my jaw is just dropped. The
I was
shots
ready to
were-
join the holy war, bro. I was ready.
I was
it
signed.
like
I
a
was locked
single
in, bro.
wide shot. I don't know. Like just some of those shots are like it's hard to even think about how you can come up with that and then put it onto a screen cohesively in a movie like this.
but that's the job of that's the sign of a good director is that Denis could visualize all this in his head and then get every department on the film to execute on said vision. He could get the camera department. He could get the scenic the production department, like the people who make the sets and stuff. He could get costumes. He could get the actors. He could get the gaffers and all the lighting people to bring what all the visions in his head and on the paper onto the screen. And that just goes to show, like, oh man, dude, it's just like
hey, shout out Hans Zimmer.
Oh,
I think
dude,
this is Hans Zimmer's
Yeah.
work. Every piece in this.
Everything
dude,
Hans makes, I'm like, yo, this is
cool.
his magnum opus.
that is very true,
Let me
but
tell
I
you.
think
Never failed me.
Hans
This is
never
Zimmer,
on-
failed me.
like I texted y'all on the day I was watching the film. Hans Zimmer is what carried, in my opinion, he's what carried Man of Steel because that movie was not sold. It was not all the way sold for me.
That movie
but
couldn't be
soundtrack,
carried.
Christopher Nolan,
that
Batman too.
soundtrack was
Mhm.
so. Yes, everything that Hans Zimmer does is good. There's no like. When I see him attached to a project, I know we're gonna get a phenomenal score, emotional. It's gonna be driving the message of the movie home, whatever that movie may be. He could make a score for a fucking Dora movie, and that shit would be lit as hell.
Banger.
I'll be in there like, yeah, we exploring right now, bro. Pack,
He's the
pack.
map.
We in this-
He's the map.
like, That's how you know that it's what we've been saying since the beginning of this podcast. Competent people coming together and putting together, letting them cook and put something good together for us to see on screen.
But I think this exceeds even that point itself. There's a difference between there's a difference between letting good people make good stuff and letting fucking masters like the best in the game make something. Because Denis is in my opinion probably the best filmmaker working right now. I think
absolutely.
I think he's better than Nolan.
The best of all time.
Of course,
he's the next Scorsese.
2049. What is it? Arrival.
Enemy. Prisoners.
What's the one?
Sicario.
I mean,
Polytechnique, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. And that's all you need to hear right there, and that solidifies him as
Dune Part 1.
Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2. Yeah, so it's like not only do you have good, competent people at the helm, you have the best of them. You have actors who are in their fucking prime, putting out some of the best work of their careers.
I wish we'd have got more Christopher Walken. But
no, I disagree. I disagree.
I wish
we got Muad'Dib. Shut the fuck up. As soon as I was like, he's the only part of that movie I didn't like.
Hey, he popped up. Have y'all seen him say Foo Fighters on like?
Foo Fighters.
I looked over at my buddy Gunner and I was like, Foo Fighters.
Yeah, Foo Fighters.
No, bro, that was the one part I disagree with you. That boy needed to retire.
And like out of place in that, especially at the end scene, like when it's he's got Florence Pugh's right and everybody in the room.
He's a good actor, but I don't know why he does that voice. It frustrates the shit.
And it's very clearly a choice.
Yeah, Foo Fighters. I will not let this podcast end without me mentioning Florence Pugh. I know her time was limited. I know it was limited.
She had 4 scenes.
She's becoming insane in this.
She might be the best actress that when they're just wear something cool on your head and look fucking amazing while doing it. And bro, they just put like 4 different headpieces on her, and I was like,
that's all she needed to do.
I was like, bro, that's amazing. I was like, she's the best to ever do it, bro. Like no one could wear space headwear better than Florence Pugh.
So hard. The one with like the razors kind of on each.
Yeah,
those costumes were immaculate.
Let's talk about that. Costume department ate in this movie. I know everyone's like, it's so plain with the still suits, but that's the point of it's not supposed to be some like Star Wars. You know how like in Star Wars, the Naboo have all their frilly colors and their bright colors, all that shit, and then the Jedi are kind of monotone. They got the browns and the black. And that sounds a little racially charged. Hold on. Whoa, my bad. Black History Month was like 4 days ago. The color palette was very muted.
There you go.
They still managed to make such like I want to say static colors look sharp, look crisp. The costumes were amazing. Even in Part 1, the Atreides uniforms were fucking amazing. They look so like I was like, I'm about to get the Atreides sigil on my arm. Coming here with the crisp ass suit. Bro. It was
the one thing I'm kind of glad they did away with all the costumes in this movie was the shield kind of generator thing that they had in like all the fights in the first movie. I don't necessarily know why he like strayed away with them. Like a couple of things like the little buzz ships had those shields, but none of the like people did. And I like that little difference. Yeah. Just because that fighting
maybe it was implied.
Just a quick FYI, Jacqueline West is the name of the costume designer for this movie, and I just shout out her because she was in her fucking bag. Dude.
Jacqueline West.
What
I think we should talk about Zendaya's.
Go for it, Zendaya.
Zendaya's facial acting in this.
Yes.
Because all you need to do is paint while Paul is talking his heretic fascist ass off, whatever he's become. Like all you do is just
whoa.
You just pan over to Zendaya.
It's justified. If some imperial,
it's not
he's the real fascist. Some imperial entity.
Paul is a fascist.
We both know he's justified. I've explained this.
If somebody pulled up on your father, if someone set an intricate plan for your enemies to pull up on your father, murk your father, eradicate your whole bloodline, leave you stranded in the desert with your mother, who's pregnant and going crazy because the baby
you're drinking the Kool-Aid, man.
What will you do?
Bro can see the future. He knows what he's doing.
Y'all are following the cult.
Yeah, bro. I'm not.
The cult is the only option.
That's the
whole.
That's
there you go. They got you. Wake up, sheep.
I got that blue
they
juice
got
on
you,
me,
bro.
I got
that's why Zendaya walked out. She knew. But I'm just saying, her.
You're right. She did a lot with very little. I think is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, one of her best scenes was in the cave too.
Yeah, when her and Josh Brolin was amazing in this movie too.
Thanos, Cable, go.
Wife beater, Brolin.
God.
Yikes!
He's like, yeah, I was ignoring that.
The fighting in this, the whole the scene that when Paul and Chani were down, like hiding in between the legs, trying to get the minigun to go off on the helicopter. That whole sequence was unbelievable. Anytime those women popped up out of the dirt.
Oh, dude, yes, that was. I forgot what scene it was.
Lifting out of my seat, bro. I had that repulsor pack shit on. I was like,
There was one scene specifically where they rise up from the ground. They're covered in sand. And they're running
with their little
dude, that shit was fucking sick,
so hard.
It was
the last hour of this movie, maybe not hour, but like 45 minutes. Like whenever the Emperor comes down to Arrakis and
in the Pokeball. In the big ass Pokeball.
When that whole when all that starts, it's balls to the wall right there, and just the shots of the worms coming out of that sand, the way he uses the dust storms, and just build up of the sand in the air is unbelievable.
I think what I was gonna say is something that also kind of I was really impressed by was just how good the scene. I know a lot of it's filmed on location, and that really helps, and the practical sets that they build also really help, but the CGI, they got real life worms. The CGI that they use in this looks
like there's no CGI.
It looks amazing, and it's so frustrating because you're like, damn. If you're like movies, there's movies who have the same amount of budget as this, if not more, maybe slightly less or whatever, and it's like, why don't you guys look as good as this movie? And I know it's because they overwork their CGI artists,
overpaying their actors,
and I know that they're underpaying their artists and stuff. But it's just it's like this is the standard, right? James Cameron with Avatar and Denis Villeneuve with his movies set the standard as to how CGI and technology can be incorporated into filmmaking at the highest level. And it's just if we don't make
the volume, some of this was shot in the volume.
Dune.
Yes.
Really?
And you can't tell because it doesn't look like shit like the Disney shows.
Invented or
because they don't oversaturate their fucking movie.
They don't rely too much on
you can
enhance things, and that's what, like you said, that other studios, especially Marvel, DC, and Sony, everyone just needs to take a note out of this.
And that comes down to what Dakota Johnson said. I'll give her props for saying this shit, man. A lot of studios do meddle with their projects, changes a lot of things. I get it. Madam Web was going to be dead on arrival and it was ass, but I'm sure that's a corporate issue. A lot of the studios mess up their own. They shoot themselves in the foot by trying to do too much when they can just be simple and get the shit right without being.
Nobody wants to
look at how this movie has come together across both part 1 and part 2, being touted as the greatest film. Not just of the decade, arguably greatest film of all time, bro. I'm gonna throw it up there.
We just said that earlier when you were gone.
I agree. While you were gone.
Oh yeah, I was out there getting a costume change because a beer fucking exploded on me as soon as I opened it. My enemies are out here. They know I'm at work right now. They're trying to
pray for my downfall. You won.
Yeah,
not me. By a Harkonnen spy.
Yeah, they try to.
Where's Engram?
This is just a product of passionate people, like we were saying. He was storyboarding this in the 80s, and every movie's gonna have some kind of studio interference, whether they think cut out some of this or cut out Eli Roth's character. Is it Eli Roth?
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Eli Roth. Man, Eli Roth. Don't ever compare that man.
Eli Roth could never. He wishes he could be in the proximity of mastery like this.
Fuck Thanksgiving.
I don't know. I think
all shit ass movie.
those were cut out, were studio interference, but it's still like you just have someone who's so passionate about a project, then they're gonna do stuff like this, make work that they want to see, and how
Denis,
it should be.
Denis literally said, I made this movie for only one person in the audience, and that person is me. Yeah, exactly. He made the movie. I made the movie that I wanted to see, the movie that I wish someone would have made for me, and that's where this Shaw stemmed from, right? Filmmakers should make movies that they would want to see, movies for them, because if you get those idiosyncrasies into that's how great shit is made, right? And it's just like it just everything worked, man. Everything was firing on all cylinders for this. I'm so glad Warner Brothers let him make the fucking movie he wanted to make, because
the shots, and I just can't get over the filming and like just the shots at some points in this.
The cinematography,
the dream sequences were shot beautifully with like the kind of gold dust in the air to make you know that like. I saw one person was talking about the scenes with Jamis. He's having those flashbacks, like just the Jamis dream scenes are all have these like gold flakes in there, and then the ones that he has of his mom with all the dead people have like this kind of red, like actual spice, like look in it. And it's like that's fucking insane, because was this really Jamis that he's talking to in his dreams, or is this somehow his mom, like using whatever the fuck kind of power she is that like I don't think anybody really understands?
Space witch.
I don't like it
was giving me Mother Talzin vibes whenever the Bene Gesserit were on screen. The Night Sisters. I was like, this is very scary. If at the risk of them becoming a massive franchise, I would love to see a little like a story on the Bene Gesserit.
Bro, Warner Brothers is one step ahead of you. I think they commissioned a Bene Gesserit TV show for Max.
Oh, I'll take it.
I don't know if it got canceled or not.
Another thing fucking Star Wars stole.
What, the Bene Gesserit?
Star Wars stole everything. But I wouldn't say everything. I mean,
and the motherfuckers online want to tell me that Anakin Skywalker buried my boy Paul D'Angelo Atreides, Duke of Arrakis. Fuck out of here. Muad'Dib all day, baby. Chosen One.
Lisan al-Gaib, baby. Lisan al-Gaib all the day.
I'm switching up. I'm switching sides. We're not.
That's my boy Usul.
We have that one video of the guy talking about he's like, Empire Strikes Back, you're not shit compared to Dune. Two Towers, you're boring compared to Dune.
Yeah, that guy Moschino or whatever on TikTok.
He's cooking.
He flipped really hard on Star Wars though. He was like, actually, now that when you notice how much of Dune Star Wars copied, it kind of makes Star Wars look really. He's like, shut up.
He drank blue juice. He's a woke kid.
Art draws from art all the time. Dune stole from Islam, and no one's like, actually, when you notice how similar Dune is to Islam, it kind of discredits
the jihad stole from Dune. I mean,
actually,
Graham, about that, Dune stole from.
Yeah, you're right.
Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something.
Islam came first, though.
Dune came first. The one true religion. Islam.
Dune?
Yeah, Dune. Rebecca Ferguson, also, I love you. You're amazing.
Stop being horny.
The mom is
I love her. I'm supporting women.
No, I know
she can
you,
never
bitch.
fail.
The mom is crazy.
Jessica,
never
don't trust him. Trust me.
Lady Jessica, right?
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson was in the motherfucking bag, bro.
Lady Jessica, GOAT.
So good.
One thing you had mentioned earlier, Graham, you're talking about the fight scenes and everything, and I want to just bring up. I know this is probably everyone's favorite fight in this movie too. The Fade Rauta versus Paul Atreides fight at the end in that third act. You guys know me. My favorite fight scene in like all movies so far has been Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Bucky versus Cap on that bridge. Turn that shit off.
That's so fucking mid. That's your favorite?
Bro, listen to me.
Have you fucking seen Old Boy?
I just love that knife scene, bro. That hand-to-hand shit.
I do too.
But when I saw Paul go against his cousin, his own blood, and chop that man to shreds, bro, that shit was, oh my god. Like when the suspense. He got stabbed. I was like, my boy's dead. It's over. We're smoking Paul back tonight.
And then chip and shatter. It's so funny,
with his Christian Bale ass voice. May thy knife.
I hate it.
Fucking talk normally.
Why did he have to mimic Stellan Skarsgård? I don't understand.
He had to get rid of the Elvis fucking voice somehow.
Now he's talking like that
he
for
still has it.
36 months.
Bro, you don't talk like that. It's okay.
Yeah, he's been talking like that in all the interviews too. It's kind of weird. It's like, all right, huck up that movie, bro.
Yeah, people are like, we get it, bro. You're good at voices, dog. We get it.
Austin, we love you. Just be normal.
Yeah, we get it, bro.
And then
I also will say the Harkonnen. Oh, my bad, Matt.
I was just gonna say, speaking of Fade Rauta, when he showed up, his introduction, it reminded me of Tron when they had that suit up scene in Tron Legacy. How they're giving him the little parts and shit, but better. More
I don't
glitter.
know why it reminded me of the Ronin scene from Guardians.
Yes, with the
yeah.
Good.
That's it. You said good art.
You could tell he was a fucked up dude just from his probably 1 minute on screen. You're like,
he was just misunderstood.
Yeah. You know when he murdered someone in cold blood, I thought he was like, whoa, this guy's like maybe dark. He might be dark.
Oh, also Leia Seydoux was in it for like 2 minutes. Fucking amazing. Amazing.
She cooked. Best part of James Bond.
She assaulted a man.
She did not cook.
assault him. It was consensual.
She used the voice on him.
He put that hand in the box and he was ready to go.
Have that baby. Have that baby.
He put his hand in the box.
In jail.
Oh, he definitely put his hand in the box.
Yeah.
Why he
put his Jabbar in the box?
She could put her hand in my box.
Ew, no.
He was bending on that gesture.
By box, I mean butthole.
No, that boy jetted for sure.
Bloodline was secured.
One thing I wasn't expecting was the Harkonnen twist that the mama was.
I hated that shit. That was so fucking dumb.
It wasn't well executed in this. They kind of allude to it a lot earlier in the books.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere in the movie. They're just like, he's your dad. I was like, what?
And the Duke and Jessica's first interaction in the books, he's like, God, I wish I knew where you were from or some shit. Something like that. Yeah.
God, if only I knew who your father was.
Yeah, I wish I knew your dad. Basically, is what he said.
I think it would have been cool if he would have said, like, I'm Paul Muad'Dib Atreides Harkonnen, like at the end, like add that little extra thing to kind of just.
I actually really like how it ended. Whenever they're like, they said that they refuse your.
They don't acknowledge.
They don't acknowledge.
So the paradise.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
so then Paul just walks. He's just walking through, and he says, "Okay, what did he say?" He's like,
"Send them to paradise."
Right, send them to paradise.
And my boy Stilgar said, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, so let's go kill like
listen, Al Gaib.
Like tens of billions of people. Yeah, it's a ridiculous number.
61 billion, right?
More humans than exist on the earth right now is what they're gonna kill.
61 billion.
Yeah.
Earths.
Yeah.
It's like a fuck ton of Earths.
I feel like Paul,
at least two.
Without me knowing much about Dune in the books, I'm going to read the books eventually when I get some time away from capitalism and work.
Bro, get a library card, download an audiobook, and you're golden.
Yeah, I think I'm getting the audiobook. It's like
doing that.
Don't buy it. No, don't buy it. Get a fucking library card. This is a PSA for your local libraries. You don't gotta buy shit. Go get a library card. You get a free app. You get every audiobook you want.
And you get Canopy, which lets you get any and all.
That's Canopy.
Streaming
Yeah.
shit.
Word.
Honestly,
support your local libraries.
We're going to Louisville Library tomorrow before work. No, after work.
I like that.
There you go. Support local library.
But if I without knowing much about Dune and the Dune world and the lore, I'm guessing, I'm assuming that Paul's gonna try and claim some type of birthright to Gady Prime, to the Harkonnen homeworld. I'm guessing he's
claiming
wage
everything.
war.
He's claiming the whole universe.
He's coming for everything, bro. He's
emperor,
you know that
bro.
shit? That's mine.
He's emperor, bro.
He's colonizing.
Yeah.
He's reclaiming. He's not colonizing. He's reclaiming.
No, Paul's white. He's colonizing.
He's half. What's Oscar? Peruvian?
Guatemalan,
Guatemalan.
Cuban.
Yeah, he's half Guatemalan. He's half Guatemalan. Give him some credit.
He's half Benny Gesserit, half Atreides, half Harkonnen. That doesn't mean the math doesn't add up.
That's the
He's
sexiest.
like a quarter bald and half Guatemalan. He's every minority.
Sexiest family in the galaxy.
Especially the
The Atreides, bro.
For sure.
Gerardo.
Only you heard that.
I heard that. I caught that.
Wait,
I caught
Gerardo,
that.
book question. So Paul was bred so that he could survive drinking the water of life water.
Not specifically. I mean, he wasn't supposed to be a fucking boy. Like,
it was supposed to. Yeah, it was supposed to be a girl.
Yeah, and get
his shit wrecked by Fade Routha.
Yeah.
So really, Paul and Fade were supposed to fuck.
Yeah, and they're cousins, so you know. He might be a little more white than we thought.
What in the Sweet Home Alabama is going on?
Space Alabama, dude.
Sweet Home Arrakis. What is going on?
Sweet Home Iraq-Alabama.
Iraq-Alabama. That is crazy.
So beautiful. I know, but they wanted Lady Jessica's offspring to be able to survive drinking the life water, right? Or the water.
Well, any woman Bene Gesserit can't survive it. He wasn't supposed to. She basically on her own decided, I'm gonna give birth to a boy. That motherfucker is gonna be the Kwisatz Haderach or whatever the fuck.
Kwisatz Haderach or whatever.
Yeah. And that's why when you're like, didn't the Reverend Mother know that he was? No, she didn't know. It was like all guesswork at this point. He wasn't planned, so they didn't.
That's why nobody knew who Muad'Dib was, right?
This motherfucker was dead as far as they were concerned.
Okay. Well, and then also, what was it? What was I about to say? Something about that's why I guess whenever Paul says silence, she falls down. She's like, "Oh, abomination!"
Because he's not supposed to know the voice or whatever.
Yeah.
So this movie just proves that men are superior, right?
Okay. Oh my god!
Because the ultimate being.
Oh, but only in the Dune universe is what he's saying.
Only in the Dune. Yeah. No. Nope. Also, in real life,
I tried to save him.
Life imitates art.
He's too deep in the hole.
Life imitates art, is what we're saying.
Is what you're saying.
No.
Yeah.
Do you want to
give definitely just you?
Do we want to give it a quick rating and then maybe start with some final thoughts before we wrap up?
I think
just so we don't start rambling.
Because I think if we keep going, we're gonna be going for this is gonna be as long as the actual movie. This episode will be just as long as the movie.
I definitely think there's more to talk about.
I need a third rewatch if I'm being real.
I need a seventh rewatch.
I need one too.
I'm going to.
I'm putting up Top Gun numbers on this movie. I'm putting up Black Panther numbers on this movie. I'm about to watch this at least 18 times.
Those movies aren't even conversations compared to Dune.
So
exactly. It's the truth. No, he's not wrong.
How are you going to defend your beloved Top Gun Maverick, Matt?
Top Gun Maverick, specifically. Boy, this is Dune time. We are on Arrakis. I am off the spice as we speak.
Top Gun mid-break.
This is no hate to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, keep doing what you're doing. But Denis Villeneuve, bro. Hell, Denny. I'm watching this movie I'm watching it. This movie's gonna make a Dune $1 billion. A Dune $1 billion. Iraq $1 billion.
It might.
Muad'Dib $1 billion.
Muad'Dib
has to crack 500 million to break even.
Yeah, it's at like 200 right now, right?
Oh yeah, first weekend.
I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that myself.
I need Javier Bardem to just talk in that accent how Elvis did how Austin did with his
that is his real life accent. What are you talking about?
I think he was doing it up a little bit.
He's not doing a voice. That's how he talks.
He doesn't talk like that, bro. He's Spanish.
He's not doing a voice.
Hey, you're into Dune? Yeah, I'm into doing two chicks at the same time.
Yeah, I fucking hate it so much.
I love that meme, bro.
You're doing too much.
Bro, the memes that have come out of this movie are immaculate. Thank you.
All the Stilgar memes are
those are the best,
bro. Dude.
But they're pissing me the fuck off before I watched it.
Why?
All the people posting about it, I was like, damn, bitch, it's been a day. Relax.
Is he that much of a dick writer in the books? Fabio?
kind of struggling to remember.
He's what you call a religious zealot.
He is a zealot.
Yeah, that's how.
He's more of a right hand man in the books.
Oh, really?
He's like that's my guy. He's not like I don't know. I have to revisit it. I'm revisiting it right now.
Some people said something that was really funny was that Stilgar and every other Fremen had an accent, but Shani didn't.
Because she's from the north.
She spoke in a perfect American accent, and that was kind of funny.
I fucking hate it. That's the only thing I don't like about the Fremen.
Is that her accent is not?
Yeah, just do a fucking accent, dude.
Rating time.
Matthew.
So what's y'all's rating, man? Luis, what's your rating, my boy? Luis San. 10 out of 10?
A 10 valid. Out of motherfucking 10. This is a 5-star movie. Absolute perfection. It was amazing. Phenomenal. Cultural significance out the wazoo. One of the greatest movies of all time. Top 5, probably. Absolutely amazing. Phenomenal film. Suck my dick. It's not recency bias. Yes, it's better than Godfather. Shut the fuck up.
Godfather's ass. Fuck them.
Valid. Valid.
The movie's boring as shit.
Okay, AZ.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck AZ. Dune is not boring. I love you, AZ, but you're wrong. No, a 10.5, bro. And I'm only 10.5 for that explanation of Stilgar was like, no, Muad'Dib. This is a good name. This is a good name.
Yeah.
He's strong.
He's
wise in the ways of the desert.
He's wise in the ways of the desert. Yeah.
I missed that scene on my first watch. So it was a second. It was like fresh on the second.
The second time.
I was like, yeah, that's
beautiful.
That's heat.
Beautiful. Wait, you said you missed it on your first watch?
Yeah, I had to go to the restaurant.
You had to get up to go watch it. Nah, see,
I didn't. Yeah,
I was in there 3 hours, bro.
I held that.
Y'all have fun. I'm not gonna be uncomfortable the whole fucking movie.
I was very comfortable.
I should have just peed on the floor, but you know, I'm house trained.
Me and my bladder were locked in.
Yeah.
Speaking of locked in, that's your answer. 10.5 out of 10.
10.5 out of 10. I'd give it more if I could.
All right, Spice Messiah. Graham, what you got? What's your rating?
10,000 out of 10. Fucking
damn.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we're meat riding this movie like crazy.
I know, bro.
I'm so glad. I'm happy. We agree.
I went and saw it Sunday at 3 o'clock.
We are bending on this movie's Gesserit.
Yeah. I have not stopped thinking about this movie. I'm probably one of, if not one of the biggest Star Wars fans, I would like to say.
Yeah. Of all time.
This is like,
yeah, you even like the dog shit in Star Wars, which is crazy.
Yeah, I like all nook and cranny of the Star Wars. This is cooked. Star Wars is cooked after this.
Yeah.
Wait, what's better, Multiverse of Madness or Dune?
Bro,
Multiverse of Madness.
This is Graham's last day on the podcast.
I thought I had him.
Stand on your shit, Graham. Stand on
business.
Stand on business.
Nah, this is easily one of the best movies of all time, and it's the best movie I've ever seen. I'm ready to watch it.
Get Sam Raimi to direct the next 3.
From part 1 to part 2, all the way through.
Back to back, yeah.
Nonstop. That's when that experience is really gonna kick in.
Danny 3P coming. Danny 3P coming.
Can't wait.
Part 3 soon.
He's got like 4 other.
I knew if they skip over the jihad, I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Was that the Holy War?
Yeah, the Holy War. Yeah, they didn't say jihad in this movie, and it bothered me.
Of course, they're not gonna say that shit, bro. In the fucking political climate of today's day and age,
the world right now, they will not use that word.
Are you kidding me, bro?
I love
all the conservatives will be like, "Look, they're indoctrinating
jihad. They're indoctrinating the
You got all these brown people in the desert.
They're talking about jihad.
Indoctrinating our kids. Goddamn the jihad.
We
just got fucking shadow banned on YouTube for saying the word jihad.
We got shadow banned for saying woke left.
We gotta blur all that shit.
We're gonna have to splice it out. Chop the edit.
What'd you give it, Matthew?
Bro, we in here. You see this Astro shirt? Home run, baby. Pop! Yordan Alvarez. 10 million out of 10 because this movie. First of all, on my ratings. You guys know I'd be taking my ratings on my reviews I type up. I put this is the first 10 out of 10 for this year. Granted, I've only seen 3 movies, and of those 3,
that's crazy.
No, four movies this year.
Best movie of any movie last year.
It's the best. Even last year, Oppenheimer was a 9 point something out of 10. This is better than Oppenheimer, and I loved Oppenheimer. This is my favorite movie, bar none. It's better than anything. Whatever movie you think is good, it's better than that. Don't argue with me. We're gonna fight, knife versus knife, and may your knife chip and shatter. This movie was too good.
Chip and shatter.
At the risk of beating a dead horse, everything that we've talked about from the start of this episode, the cinematography, the directing, every actor was cooking at all times. No one came to half-ass shit. Everyone was in their bag. I cannot argue with this movie being one of the best movies of all time, if not the best movie of all time. I will gladly. I am a number 1 Dune glazer, number 1 Dune propagandist. I'm there. 10 million out of 10.
10 million.
I know it's not mathematically correct, but 10 million out of 10. Fuck your math, fuck your science, fuck your physics. Dune, baby.
And shit ain't nothing to do.
You ain't doing nothing to us, bro. You ain't doing shit to me. With that being said, it's time for us to Dune our ending.
No.
Jesus,
Boo.
it's getting worse.
Boo. You're rusty, bro.
That was terrible. I know. I need some spice. What am I doing, anyways?
What am I doing?
Y'all think?
See, that was better. That was a little
Y'all
better,
think
right?
spice tastes like cinnamon toast crunch?
I hope so. It looks like it.
Tastes like poop.
No.
Let me find right.
And that's
Muted. Muted.
Bro said extra spice, please.
Extra spice. Well, that's a wrap for today, you guys. We appreciate
Wait,
y'all
did
watching.
y'all actually mute him?
Channel.
Oh no.
No. I think he muted himself.
He muted himself for the bit.
Oh no!
That was a good one, buddy. Yeah, good job.
Appreciate you.
No, that's a wrap for today, you guys. We appreciate y'all watching or listening to our channel. Go ahead and follow us on all platforms at Cinestro Corp, no S. Stay tuned to everything we got coming up this year. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Go ahead and show us some love by leaving us a 5-star review wherever you listen to the podcast, and go ahead and send our podcast to your friends. Send our YouTube channel to your friends, family, post in your group chats. Send it everywhere, and we will see you guys next time on Cinestro Core. Peace.